Okay. So shall you move into this zone?
I'm going.
Excellent. Well, as you go,
in there.
You will have different perceptions. As you go, it seems to you as though the area is inhabited. These doors are partly open, and as you pass them, you can see activity in there as of people moving, talking, sitting, in furniture of different kinds, and looking like they're doing very normal things. People here are eating, people here are dancing. They seem to be engaged in this very civilized, quiet activity. And you can barely see them through the open doors as you pass, unless you want to stop and really take a look. Your perceptions are different. What you see is blinding light spilling through these doorways, even brighter than what is illuminating this, and you can see that something on the other side of the doors in each case is moving past the opening, and all you can catch is the view of is that it is kind of like a human in size, and its eyes are watching as it passes. So very different perceptions of what is happening. And both of you can see there is a stairway just ahead of you, just going straight down.
I'm starting to get that distinct madman with sword feeling.
What's wrong? Do you see people?
They're watching us.
No, I don't think so.
Did you not see them?
Watching us? No. They seem to be doing everyday things. They don't seem to really see us, actually.
Well, down from where we come from, peeping through the door is not a normal thing to do like that.
So, you want me to knock? Or are we going to try to sneak through? But that looks like downstairs. I'd prefer to get up right now.
Yeah, that's the opposite of up.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, they haven't burst our front doors yet, so...
I'm not really good at...
Here in front of you,
people?
There is a voice that calls to you from the bottom of the stairs and says, "Hello, sister, hello." And you make a scan roll.
What roll?
Scan.
That's a failure.
Okay. You hear nothing. You do not hear someone call hello.
Okay.
He hears me calling hello.
Yes.
Very timid.
She, obviously very confidently, timidly, is calling hello into the bottom of the stairs. Can I have some idea? I'm just going to switch back quickly so you don't feel too bored. What is your plan? Shall you attempt to see what kind of situation the people in the village or the area are clearly organizing for? Are you going to try to go off in the direction that the priest told you about by yourselves? Or are you going to do something else?
They might actually not be gathering to eat us. They might be gathering strength for something else. So maybe we should just ask him why all this...
I should point out that nobody is looking at you. You had a good perception roll.
Yeah.
Nobody is... If somebody were looking at you, like trying to set you up for an attack, you would know.
Okay.
That's not happening.
Okay.
They're worried about something else.
Okay.
Okay.
It's your people.
It's my people. But did you want me to ask them about these two as well? The priests?
Get all the intel you can get. Ask them what's bothering
Everything.
them. Because,
okay.
You also, your oratory role is very good for asking or helping or getting people to listen to you to make a point of some kind. It's a little bit more like a speech.
Okay.
So it's not really a conversational intelligence gathering thing, but it might be useful.
If you get some more intel, I can make a speech. I can try to convince them, but ask them about strangers, ask them about all the...
what's going on.
What's going on with the weapons, and if you can get a guide to that place.
Same roll, but for charisma.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll start with that.
Mm-hmm. With ×5.
45.
You are not the most charismatic person around.
0.
Wait,
No,
did
no,
you roll?
No.
No,
Oh.
you have to roll
30.
that.
Oh, I have to roll. Again?
Just, yeah,
Yeah.
onto the table.
10.
Oh,
Even better.
you know, this is insane. You are just like the world's best roller. Helma had a much harder time.
She broke her leg quite early, or
Strained it.
yeah, strained it.
Didn't feel good. Thanks. You're gonna rub that in for the rest of my life, right?
Yeah, I thought you redeemed yourself with your multi-missile criticals.
Doesn't seem like that.
Yeah, give her a break. Who drove away the bats?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I still always remember that.
No. So I'm going to say through the course of the next 2 hours, Erko is able to have conversations with people. They are treating you as though you are somehow involved, because these are people who may know this village, but they don't live here. They weren't here when you stayed the night last night. They see you here, they see how you are armed, and they are speaking to you as if you are here to help fight as well.
Okay.
When we do this, when we do that, you'll go over there with them, and things like that. So you realize that they are actually organizing themselves for a shared defense of some kind of attack. Number one. Number two, that they have not heard about other travelers, but that over toward the mountains, the bats were especially bad last night. The bats came and flew from this one place in the mountains where they always fly from. They always they roam through the farms and the little villages, and they're very dangerous. They came a lot farther last night than they ever had before, and so that's what they know.
Okay.
And the mountain would be this direction?
Yes, over that way. Yeah. So they are. So whether there are some strangers around, they say, well, yes, actually, some would say, well, yes, we have heard about some strangers, but they were a tall blonde man and a few of his friends, and that's apparently him. So, because he's the most visually memorable, the most striking person of all of them.
Yeah.
And so, except for your size. But you see, remember, to them, chaos is not that surprising. They don't really register that as strange. So you're the one who stands out. So if they say, oh, yes, the strangers, like you. We heard about strangers, but that we figured that was you.
Okay.
So that's the information that you're getting.
But we can't get any information what they're supposed to defend against?
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah. There's
just be the bats?
No. This is not the bats. The bats are way over there by the mountains. They came out kind of far last time, but that doesn't seem too bad. No, there are old forces. They say there are things that it is better not to talk of here, and that we follow the gods and we do what we can, but the gods protect those who can fight, and so we know we have to protect ourselves. We're grateful, says one, and nodding toward you.
Okay. Well, have we gotten any knowledge if some of them may be safe to travel through the woods with, or might be extra willing to help?
Yes, exactly. There are people who are familiar with these areas. You get the idea, however, that they have identified you as going to help them fight. So if you were to say no, then their willingness to help you might drop.
Yeah. But we still don't have any good information what they're supposed to fight against.
Exactly.
Something dark.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
the trouble is that people don't describe things that everybody knows.
Yeah, okay.
And so it's and so they're concerned primarily with something from this direction,
Okay.
and they speak of fighting in small groups.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't speak of making a big line
No.
as if against another group of people. They don't speak. They seem to be talking about tactics that are far more as if you were suddenly
Attack.
surrounded and overwhelmed, which is very strange because clearly they command this whole area.
Yeah.
They could easily mobilize to defend this whole area and dig some ditches and lay spears out and things like that. They are doing none of those things. They are acting as if somebody had already overwhelmed the area.
Okay.
So,
but-
yeah. And so they also are, some of the people, the couples, for example, are embracing as if they're not going to live, or if one of them is not going to live.
So they're expecting close combat and not range.
Yes, exactly.
combat.
Close combat without a geographical.
Okay, but
component.
the threat seems to come from that way.
This
where
way,
We're
yes.
interested in going anyway.
That's right.
So maybe we should do like a big stand-up speech.
Uh-huh.
Because we could just get the fuck out of here. We could just get a guide, or we could stay and die. So I'm gonna
You're
try.
so pessimistic.
I think we would die if we go into the forest alone, since
I think maybe sneaking.
Really?
I'm not sure there is safety in numbers in
These
this,
guys are as good as you
case.
two.
Yeah,
Oh, we're horrible at sneaking.
yeah, and
No, you're pretty
My-
good
my
at sneaking. Yeah,
sneaking,
you
I
guys are
think
pretty
is
good
pretty
sneakers.
good.
It's up to you.
As
Yeah,
much as I know
fifty
about
snake.
these guys,
You guys go ahead and debate this interesting ethical problem.
Yeah, but could I do like a fire speech?
Yes, but I think you might want to agree on what you're going to say first.
Okay.
I mean, between the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the dark thing they're fighting doesn't seem really good, but I'm not really sure if we can make it through the woods without any
I was
guidance.
thinking like maybe arguing that to us, we will go out there and look for the evil, but we need a guide. So worst case scenario, we get the guide and we find something horrible and we sneak away. And best case scenario, they get attacked and all get killed. But we're up here with the guide and survive.
Or we don't get a guide and hide around the corner. Is
Yeah,
that the
that's
it
call it
doesn't seem
Plan C. We probably need a guide because if you're gonna find the rest of our company,
Yeah, but
knowing that guy, he's probably in trouble somewhere. He's either drunk or in a cave somewhere. You know, that's usually how it turns out.
yeah, but I didn't get the feeling that they would help us unless we helped them. So I think our best option.
But I mean, we're just gonna spin it like we're gonna go out there and look for the evil to give them early warning. It's all a question about perception here.
Well, they are acting as the evil is already here, so
I'm just saying that we could be heroes here and get away with one guy.
I think we will look like cowards.
No. Because we're not
I'm
gonna
interested in
flee.
this debate.
We're gonna volunteer.
Volunteer to flee.
Yeah, now you get it. Finally.
I get a feeling I know why I lost him.
Who's the hero here, Jovan?
I get a feeling I know why I lost him.
No, we
Convenient.
didn't bring the hero. We forgot that.
Now,
Interesting.
Well,
let's begin with what happens down the stairs. All right?
Let's begin with
Because here we are at strike rank 1.
Oh,
And the first thing to do, yes, indeed.
so what is me answering that hello?
You will see
Going to
here
do?
in this large, bare, square room with a door and a staircase going down from the corner. And you will see that here there is an effect in the walls that as you look at the walls, they seem to be expanding farther and farther and farther away. But it's an illusion, because when you look again, the room doesn't ever seem any bigger. It's just when you're not looking directly at them, it seems as though the room is expanding. Furthermore, there is a person standing there, and he is not quite standing on the floor. He is standing just above the floor, walking normally, moving normally. And what he looks like is an extraordinarily handsome man who is, it depends on how you want to play this, but he is either completely without clothes or he is wearing some kind of tasteful little cloth item, depending on how you want to imagine the situation. I will leave that up to you. And he's extremely handsome, but there is something extraordinarily wrong with the with parts of it. You can see it when he turns his head or turns his body. Something is very wrong with the surface of his skin, but that portion is not presented directly to you. In fact, when he turns, it looks normal, but the same effect. You can see just the edges of it on the parts you cannot see. There's something very wrong. It is bursting or running with fluid, or it is misshapen or something like that. But you always expect to see it when he turns, but the effect is always on the opposite side of you.
I'm going for another.
Okay.